Hello bearded bee people, welcome back to B&K Bees. Today is the 19th of July and it feels like the 19th of July is hot and sunny, and I'm so freaking tired. I've been out here all day going through all the non-honey hives, adding boxes, removing backfilled frames, just kind of generally taking care of everything because it's been a while. It's been more than 10 days, probably a little bit less than 2 weeks since I've been through these colonies, and during a time of such great nectar flow, that's too long. Really, it's too long, especially if those colonies were getting close to filling the total cavity that they have, the total amount of boxes that they have. In that case, I have had to cut out a lot of honey burr-comb, and I've had to just kind of generally clean things up because, man, these bees don't stop bringing nectar in when they don't have enough room. They just figure out a different and more inconvenient spot to put it. So, this nuke here. You may recognize this from one of the 2 thin split videos that I did this year. This one was a while ago though. So this was probably more than a month ago that I split this off, and the reason that they're still in a nuke box is I caged the queen after she emerged and I sold her, and then I gave them another cell, and then the last time that I'd been through this yard, about 2 weeks ago, I knew that she hadn't gotten mated yet, so I just kind of didn't go through it. I was in that sense, or in that instance, tired the same way I am right now. So I put it off, and then 2 weeks later and I get back out here and I start to crack the top on it, and it's as you'd expect. It's full of crazy honey burr-comb, and I have to clean it up and get them put into a 10 framer, figure out if they're queen right, just generally figure out what needs to happen for them. So I figured I would do a video because this isn't necessarily something that you learn in a book or in any other case other than having made a mistake and put off inspection for too long. So yeah, I'm just going to take care of it. So the first thing I'm going to do, because of the fact that I'm going to move them to a 10 framer, is I'm going to move that nuke up here to the top of that hive so that I can set the new equipment down and it'll be in the old spot so that there will be no confusion. I gotta knock this little beard off. Ouch! Right away. Okay, so right in the old hive spot. So the only thing that changes is the total amount of space they have. Boy, I'm telling you, bees just love it when you do that. You gotta drop the frames on them. They're just gonna be super happy with you. Alright, make some room here. And let's go through this. Okay. Alright, so now you're going to see what I was talking about, this craziness. We've got almost capped honeycomb there. Inside the feeder, of course, because there's no frame there, and there was no food there. because who feeds well-stocked nukes in the middle of a nectar flow? But there are just generally too many bees in this hive. Too many bees in this nuke. Okay. So now, like I said, the only thing I really need to know is that they're queen right. Get out of the way, bee. Eggs. So it does appear they're queen right. 1 egg per cell. Beautiful. Awesome. Alright, here's the cell cup that this queen emerged from. Whoops. Well, I'm telling you, dropping frames is bee's favorite thing. It's fun for all. Alright, looks good. You can see why there was a beard on the front. There were a lot of bees in this hive. There's the queen. Just got another sting. Wonderful. It's my fault to keep pinching them. But yeah, there's a big beautiful queen. That's awesome. I'm going to separate those last two by a blank one. Partly so that they'll build up and partly so that I don't have a chance of crushing that queen up against the adjacent comb. Alright, and a big heavy honey frame. Okay. Got a bunch of honeycomb here that I'm just going to leave out to get robbed. Just like that. Or not. Just like that. It'll be empty in a few minutes. I don't know if you can see that. Just set it up there. I wouldn't do that in October. I wouldn't do it in April, but right now these bees are so preoccupied with actual forage that is out. It'll be the smaller hives that go up and get that, and in large part the hive that it came from, and it won't create a huge robbing issue. Even if it did, the smallest hive is this one, and I think that they can adequately defend, so I'm not super worried about that. I do that all the time throughout the nectar flowing months. Just cut it off and set it out to get robbed. But, once again, if it's robbing season and there's not nectar flowing actively, be careful doing that because it can create a robbing situation. Or just bring it in and eat it, you know. You could totally do that. I probably would have if it wouldn't have started falling off. Okay, so now I'm just going to shake these bees. Dang it, it's hot. I'm looking forward to an Arnold Palmer and air conditioning. Okay, I'm just going to knock these bees off in the front. Cut this last little bit off. Set it up there. And fill this out. Dumb ferns out of the way. And last but not least, these bees. Alright, and they'll be not much cooler and more comfortable in that situation than they were in that cramped 5, or actually 4 with the feeder, frame nuke. And then obviously they'll have the ability to build up combs the way I want them to rather than in the feeder, and be well on the way to being a strong and heavy single for winter. So it's not exactly how I wanted it to go with all that extra comb and wasted effort, but I don't know, you have to do what you have to do, and not every single time that you get into a hive are you able to, or not every single time that you have to get into a hive do you have the available energy to. So if this happens to you, I don't know, try to figure it out. But if that extra burr comb had brood in it and you were concerned about the loss of that brood, what I would do is frame it up the way I would a cutout, and that is inside a blank wooden frame with no foundation. Just basically rubber band those combs into that frame and then give it into a hive in the normal frame sense. But with the honey, I'm not super worried about it, because as you see, they're going to get that taken care of before too long, and hopefully in large part it will come back to this hive. Either way, they're heavy. They've got a couple heavy frames. Everything out here is heavy, so I'm not super worried about it. But like I said, you can definitely cut out frame those extra burr combs if they do include brood, or if they include honey, either way, but I wouldn't do it in that case. So I'm just rambling now, but that was the story of the day. Just some neglected hives that had way too much honey burr comb. So thanks for watching. Get out there and have some fun with your bees. See ya.